All right. Well, Brandon likes to stifle fun.
Sorry, Kenny.
Oh, power off. She did. Wait, listen to her talk.
The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
It's like a really bad
What
British.
Is it, it's like
Chinese?
French, German, British, Chinese.
I-
The Bluetooth device is connected successfully. It's literally what she said.
I don't know. It was $10. So
This is a pop solo microphone where you can connect your phone to a Bluetooth and you can sing karaoke. What's that pronunciation video you like so much?
oh, college humor. Yeah, it's just I just always look up college humor pronunciation, and it's always the first thing. It ends with Mamma Mia, but that's not what it's called.
Mamma Mia.
You sound like a terrible person right now. Me culpa.
Maybe we can get some tapas and gazpacho.
I know I committed a huge faux pas.
But I thought we could go down to the pub.
We can take an Uber. Uber.
Like it's Scottish. I thought we could take Uber.
Yeah, we'll have to link that.
We should do the rest of this podcast in an accent.
No.
Why not? We could do it in a Scottish accent. Nope, I went Sean Connery. No, if you do Scottish, you always go Sean Connery. What?
No.
What?
That's terrible.
Terrible. We could do
Terrible.
We could do Californians. Today we're talking about Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh gosh, please don't.
What you like to watch?
I don't want to hear that the whole time. It's so annoying.
I think they do.
No, I'll say this. No one is enthusiastic about that. Not even averagely. I don't know if that's a word, but now it is averagely.
Averagely is a word.
Is it? Anyway. Yeah, so today, Super Mario Odyssey came out, let's say today's Sunday, 2 days ago. Gotten to play it for, I don't know, I've got about maybe, 8 hours in, maybe, something like that. Maybe a little more. I'm guesstimating.
I feel like I've got about that same amount of time.
Solid work day in.
I know everyone knew that I was up until 3 o'clock in the morning playing it when it came out. They have a great Snapchat mode that lets you make your own pictures.
It was really cool.
And you can actually, you get really creative with it and like pose Mario's in a cool way. That was a nice picture too. It's like Mario riding like a sphinx in a cowboy uniform. I am enjoying it thoroughly.
So I got to try one of the new features of I believe it's part of the Switch 4.0 update. Is that what we're up to right now? Where you get to pre-purchase a game and it will preload it for you. So that way on the day of launch, you don't have to wait for the download to happen. It'll download it ahead of time and it just won't activate until, I believe, midnight in your time zone.
Because I think you and I both decided that we don't want physical copies.
I started
Switch.
buying them. I got it for Zelda. And then I bought my second, actually it was like my third game, but it was the second cartridge available, which was Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mario cartridge.
And then I quickly decided that I'm just not digging all the cartridges.
No, it's a portable console. You want it to be portable. I decided early on, I got Breath of the Wild on cartridge just because I wanted to play it right away.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I didn't know how long it was going to take to download it. So I just bought the cartridge. But now I just leave that one cartridge in the game because that's the only one I'm ever going to buy. And I just downloaded everything else that I've ever bought and bought a micro SD card. It's worth it because it's a portable console. You want it to stay portable. But no, so yeah. So, I mean, this isn't the Switch podcast.
I know.
Why are you just talking about Switch?
Because it's so cool.
Oh, no. Can the audience hear me whisper in this microphone?
Yes.
Oh, man, I got to stop that. It's about Super Mario Odyssey. So the nipples are real. I want to tell you in great detail about the nipples. Number one, pink. Pink.
Have you actually seen them in person?
Oh, they are. Those areolas are.
Good job, Nintendo, on a good color palette.
I was going to do a play on word, but I couldn't think of like anything in a thesaurus that goes with amazing that sounds like areola.
Blazing?
Those are some aristocratic areolas.
They're nice.
No.
So, okay, question. How did you see him?
He took his shirt off.
Did you do the boxer shorts?
No, I played strip poker.
Oh.
You haven't found the strip poker section?
I guess not.
So
yeah.
No, you just buy the boxers. Well, no. They're essentially swimming trunks.
Well, no, there's just boxers too. All right, so since we're talking about this, let's fill our listeners in a little bit. So one of the cool, I think,
when a man takes his shirt off, he also has areolas.
One of the cool features of Mario Odyssey is that so in older Mario games you could get like power suits, right? So you would pick up like a fire flower or a Tanuki suit if you want to go old school, and then Mario would change what he's wearing.
Yeah.
Well, they don't really have that anymore. Mario doesn't really have power-ups in this game, at least that we've
not.
found yet.
He has the hat that helps him.
He
with
just
stuff.
has the hat. That's his only thing. So in lieu of that, he now can like change his clothing, which keeps spoilers to a minimum. The clothing actually is important in some areas of the game. If you want to pick up some of the power moves, you do need certain clothing. So like instead of having all these power-up suits, now you can kind of change how he looks, which I think is actually a lot of fun. It's really cool because every world you go to has its own set of clothing that he can get.
Yeah.
There's the default like cheap set, and then a lot of them have the more expensive set.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to collect them all, but
I know.
it's kind of a pain.
I know that one thing that's really cool in Super Mario Odyssey, they have little 8-bit like NES Mario sections, and what I loved is that if you're wearing like if you're wearing a cowboy suit, not Mario, he's a cowboy in the 8-bit as well, which is pretty cool.
It is. I like the
I was gonna ask you what your favorite one is.
The pirate outfit looks really cool, 8-bit.
I like the my favorite is. Have you gotten to the metro portion yet in New Donk City?
Yep.
So there's the fedora and the 3-piece suit. Do you want to know why I like it so much?
Why?
Because Mario's Italian, right?
Oh gosh, I didn't even think of that.
He looks like a mobster.
He does look like a mobster.
So it's like, give me the money.
You know what's funny about that is you can steal a car and you can steal a scooter.
Oh, I'm sorry, I hit your car. Don't mind what's in the trunk. I'll give you an iPhone that fell off a truck. Nudge, nudge. Just Mario as a mobster.
It's actually really good.
I know.
Really good.
I know. I do voices.
That's,
Just like Toad.
all right. No, we gotta. Okay, now
Mario.
we gotta talk about this one now. So say your thing about the Toad voice.
What?
Come on.
I want you to do the Toad voice. Go ahead, Brandon. Hey, Mario. So it's all you listeners at home. Try to do a Toad voice and not be loud. You can't whisper the Toad voice and do it properly. You have to go, "Hi, Mario. Where's Princess Peach?"
You can't whisper that. There's no way. Yoshi.
Oh, I'm clipping the mic really bad.
Yeah, you have to yell to do a Toad
sorry.
voice. There's no way around it. So yeah, so we're supposed to be talking about Super Mario Odyssey. That was our goal for this one.
We were all supposed to have my brother for this too, if you remember.
Oh, it's
But he flaked.
Flake.
As far as 3D Mario games go, it's my favorite. Only because I think you can't ever put a 2D Mario game and a 3D one in the same category. Completely different games because they play completely differently. But my favorite 3D Mario game of all time. The courses are so well designed. Rather than Super Mario 64, where you would go and you would get the star in a level, and then you'd have to restart the level. In this one, you get a power moon, and then you just keep going where you left off.
I love that.
Which
is so nice.
Yeah, I mean, you don't think about it. And the other ones give them credit where credit's due. And there's a reason why they made you restart. It's like it's a new challenge for this level. But they had limitations. They couldn't make their levels very large because of the system limits.
With the Switch, that's obviously not a limitation like it was back then.
Yeah.
So you can just kind of keep going. So I do really like that you don't have to like jump out, jump back in, get back to where you wanted to be. So you can kind of it's more of that open world type environment. Right? You're not going in and out of levels like even then you were. So I'm really digging how they did that. So since this is our first impression, we haven't beaten Odyssey yet. So we should make that clear. I feel like from the storyline, I'm probably about just under halfway.
You're just a little bit further than me.
Yeah, but not by much. Just like a world or two, maybe. So far, my impression has been very positive. The overall storyline, I think, is cute. The whole wedding thing, I think, is a cute spin.
Do you think Mario and Peach are going to get married at the end? And they're finally going to make that canon that they were in a couple the whole time and now they're married? I think they will.
Do you think so?
I think they will. The whole game, they're toning up this marriage stuff. Where Bowser, he's like wearing a tuxedo and he steals Peach, with intents to marry her. And he makes posters all over the whole game that say like, get ready for Bowser and Peach's wonderful wedding and all this stuff. I think Mario's going to rescue Peach. He's already going to be in a tuxedo. It's going to be the one of the costumes you get and it's required at the end or something like that. She's already wearing the wedding dress. We've seen that in one of the fights. They have a ring. One of the little things makes you get a ring. They make you get flowers in a whole world just for the wedding. Like the whole thing is based off of a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they build it up, man?
You know,
If they didn't
I
get
guess that's a good
married at
point.
the end.
Like kick Bowser out of the picture, and then Mario steps in. And all right, so I do have a question for you. So
I have an answer.
I have played using all of the possible control combinations. What is your favorite control?
I've only
to
played
use in
with
the
one
game?
control combination.
Which is?
Dual joystick.
You haven't played like holding the Switch?
We talked about this because I wish that every console had controllers like the Switch where they can break in half. Because if you think of every controller that you've ever had, it's like you have two parts that are put together and your hands are just together. So for the Switch to have two completely separate controllers that you have on each hand, I love to like sit on a couch. I'll put my arm over the couch, like the back of the couch, and then I'll put my other arm just down the arm of it, the normal arm, and my hands will be like completely spread apart, and I'll just play my video like so relaxed. I'll play my video game like that.
That actually reminds me of Super Mario Brothers Wii, because when I played, most people would play with just the regular Wii controller turned sideways.
Yeah.
I actually plugged the nunchuck into it, and I would do the two-hand mode. So it's actually very similar, just you're not connected by.
I tried that. I didn't
wire.
like it because the
What,
D
on Wii?
D-pad. Yeah,
Oh.
I wanted the actual D-pad.
Right, because you get the joystick when you're on the
Yes,
nunchuck.
and I like playing 2D Marios with the D-pad.
I do like the Pro Controller. I think it handles well, with the exception of any of the like shake the Pro Controller movements are really awkward. But the actual like
How are you shaking
overall
them?
play, I mean you have to shake. It's weird to shake it with both hands.
Like you're shaking with your whole arms, like your body's moving. when
Or I
you're
cheat
shaking.
and like whip the controller with my wrist
Well,
with
like,
one hand.
You don't have to shake that much. Like you can literally just with your wrist, just
Oh,
like shake.
I guess I'm just getting into it. too much. I'm just such a fan of the Pro Controller in
Yeah.
general. It is really hard to play with it on the Switch itself because of, again, that shaking motion. So maybe, again, I'm shaking it too hard, but when you have to shake the whole
I think
Switch,
you're shaking it too hard.
I might be shaking it too hard.
I haven't had a problem.
When you shake the whole Switch, it's hard. Like I was in the beach world, and you have to beat the main boss there. You have to shake a lot. It was very inconvenient, and that's when I switched to the split controller, and then I had no problem.
You know what I actually really like about this game is that Nintendo is nefarious with their water levels. In Zelda and Mario, even like a Metroid game, I think they had a nefarious water level. I really like swimming around in the water, finding little collectibles in there, even though Mario has to like take air and stuff like that. This is like they have a lake level, they have a seaside level, they probably have another one down that I haven't seen yet. The little water parts here and there. I actually like the swimming in it. I like you can capture what are the cheap the fish. You capture cheap.
Yep.
And you got different you have different movement and stuff like that with that makes it really cool underwater. I don't know. Even like the 2D Marios. Did you like the water level?
I hated water levels.
They're the worst, right? The movement
Yeah.
was weird.
It's so there's a couple spots in the game where you get like a fork in the road, and it's kind of weird you get a fork in the road because you have to do both levels anyway.
So far, you and
But-
I have seen the same forks. There's been two.
There have been two so far,
And
I
what's
can only imagine there's gonna be more.
but the second fork has always been a water level.
Right. So I always would pick the non-water level first, but I will agree that the swimming and stuff in this game is much better than any other game.
Do you think that they did the water levels that way to say to the consumer, hey, look, we know you guys don't like water levels. We're going to let you know, either you can pick it now and get it over with, or you can go to this level if you want and then do the water level later. Because
Maybe.
it's just interesting that they put the two water levels that we've seen so far.
And you have to do them.
You still have to do
it's
them,
not like you can go
but you
past
get to
it.
pick which one you want to do first at those two fork in the roads.
It is weird they give you the choice when you have to do both anyway. So I don't know. Maybe at some point you'll get a choice that you don't have to. So we'll see.
But do you agree with me that if the water levels feel better in this game?
Well, I think something that helps is that like capturing the cheap is really nice. It's basically kind of like when you get the frog suit in some of the older games.
Yeah.
It makes the water level just that much more tolerable.
It's still weird because it's different than a normal level.
Mm-hmm. Ice levels. So again, going back to the whole power suit thing, right? Thinking of Super Mario Wii. Yeah, Super Mario on the Wii.
The
When you're on
2D
ice
one?
levels, yeah, the 2D. The ice levels, you get the penguin suit, so you don't like slide around as much. This game, you get a Goomba instead.
That was my favorite suit.
Yeah, I love the penguin suit because not only did you walk on ice better, but you could throw ice balls.
And he waddled.
And he waddled, which is funny. I was really hoping. Okay, actually, Easter egg for you. Those penguins are in this game. I saw.
I'm not that far yet.
Okay,
Yeah,
they're in the game, but they're tiny. They look like little chickadee birds, tiny little things.
By the way, we should say, when we say capturing, like Brandon just said, like instead of a penguin suit, you become a Goomba. I said the water levels are made better because you come a cheap. The mechanic in the game, in case you haven't seen it, you have a special hat as Mario, called Cappy, and he's a character. I bought a Cappy for his son.
Yep,
because it was pretty fun.
He loves it.
Essentially, you throw your hat at an enemy, and some enemies, Mario can actually become them temporarily and gain some abilities by becoming them. So, like you were saying, the Goombas, because they have tiny little feet that just clip clop, they don't slip on the ice.
Right.
But Mario slips a lot on the ice.
He
in
always
this.
does.
I mean, in this one though,
A lot.
it's like he's got butter on his shoes and he's walking on
pretty
ice.
bad. So you need to be a Goomba.
I liked in Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U. I haven't played it, but I've seen some people play it. I like that one of the power ups that they give you that is ice skates. So like literally like Mario, like he controls on the ice better because he's wearing ice skates. And he's like a hockey player. I don't know.
About time. So how are you liking the Cappy mechanic?
I love it.
Yeah, I think it's really good.
There was a Zelda game, not to get off topic, but it's related. There was a Zelda game on the 3DS called A Link Between Worlds, where it was based off from A Link to the Past, which is a Super Nintendo game that you're familiar with. And it had a special ability for Link that was integral to the game mechanics, where Link could morph into the wall and become flat on the wall. And then he can like move around on it. He can get to different areas because he's attached to the wall and things like that. And he literally becomes like a drawing on the wall that moves around. That game got a ton of great reviews because they said that morphing ability was the same thing as akin to jumping in Mario. Like it was just a mechanic. The moment you tried it, it just became so easy and fluid to use, where puzzle solving with it was amazing. Cappy, I feel the same way about. Throwing the cap and morphing into something, or throwing the cap and jumping on it, to give you a little boost of, something. Big fan. Plus 2-player mode. Have you and your son played more of the 2-player mode?
Yep. So
He's getting there.
Kenny introduced us to 2-player. I didn't realize that there was a 2-player function until he mentioned it.
Like the moment you started playing the game.
He introduced it right off the bat.
Backstory, real quick. Seth's been waiting for this game.
I know. He's been
and
watching
he's wanted to play it
trailers
so much. Done with the backstory.
Yeah.
Go on.
So Kenny started as Cappy, and I was Mario, and that was going well. We had good dynamic.
Well, in the 2-player, you got to explain it. Essentially, the second player is the hat.
Right.
And you have the choice. You can like just float around and be the hat and capture things for Mario and stuff like that, while the first player is Mario.
Right.
Great mechanic. I like it a lot.
Right. When you have 2 people and you know how to work together, it's an awesome mechanic in the game.
What happens when you don't know how to work together, Brandon?
So when you have someone that's playing Mario and then you give a 6-year-old control of Cappy, things get a little out of control because they're just so excited that they're just flying around everywhere.
But he loved it.
And he loved it.
He loved
He
being
has said so
Cappy.
many times that he's like, I loved being Cappy.
You know what? You didn't get any points in Mario, but you know what you did get points in? Dadding.
Yeah. So he likes it. And I will say we played more yesterday. But he's getting better at it.
Yeah, I was going to say, these are skills that he can develop.
He's picking it up.
Teamwork, stuff like that.
Right.
We talked about that before.
Yeah.
Video games, I think, are great as skill developers for kids. You just have to be a good parent and actually know what they're playing.
Yeah.
That first night where I had the privilege, I already played, keep in mind, like, I don't know, a good 6 hours before I came over on Friday night to watch Brandon play. I had the privilege of playing with Brandon in 2-player for the very first part of the game. But I introduced that 2-player to Seth, like you said, and just having the privilege of watching him play with you just looking over there, man, his face was lighting up.
He loved it.
Just playing
He did.
Mario with his. You know how much I wish I could have played Mario with my dad? He
Yeah.
wasn't into that stuff. We hiked. We did a lot of other stuff. But man, to play Mario with him, that would have been cool.
You spend time outside? What?
I do.
People do that?
I do. Switch, portable console. You
Yeah,
take it outside.
sure.
I could take it hiking.
No, it's the 2-player mechanic is really cool.
Yeah.
It'll be neat to continue that and see, because I think there's one move you can do in 2-player mode that you can't do in single-player mode, and what that is,
It's called aggravation.
aggravation. You know, that's different.
No.
So here's a tip for you if you haven't done 2-player yet. The Cappy can actually make Mario jump. So I don't know how he did it because I haven't played as Cappy yet. So I don't know how he's doing it. But if I stand still and don't do anything, he was spamming a button. I don't know what button, but it would make Mario throw the hat, grab the hat, but jump. We were able to like get up buildings that I don't think we were supposed to be able to do.
Like, you think it was a game-breaking mechanic or is it an actual
Almost felt like
control?
it wasn't supposed to be possible.
Like, how high did you get? Like
We went
here-
up a skyscraper.
Okay. What?
Yeah. And I'm like, just keep doing it because like I didn't want to like.
That might have been a glitch.
I think it is. No, but we did it multiple times.
That might have been an awesome glitch.
Yeah. So we'll have to play with it more. I don't
now
know.
I want to play 2-player and see if I can do that.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like
I like how there's a skyscraper in the game that you can measure that
yeah,
with.
right.
Too.
We went up a skyscraper literally. So no, it is cool, and I have not played as Cappy yet, so I'll have to give that a try. But I'm really liking that mechanic. There's so many good things in this game already, and you know, it's one of those things where I remember when it was announced back when the Switch was like officially revealed.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "What? We don't get the Mario game right away because we got Zelda instead."
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally cool now with having to wait until now to get it.
Me too.
Because I know they did everything they needed to do to make this game amazing. And
They're gonna sell a
it's
lot
amazing.
this holiday. Well, yeah. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in for our Super Mario Odyssey episode. We are 100% planning on once we're done with it, giving a post game roundup. You know what? I think if it's okay with you, just I'm gonna say what we're gonna talk about next week because I really want to talk about it.
Yeah.
My brother got the Super Nintendo Classic.
Ooh.
And he loves it. I know that Super Nintendo is your favorite console.
I do love the Super Nintendo.
So if it's okay with you, I'd love to talk about that
We
next
should.
week. Well, great. Well, Super Mario Odyssey.
Cool. All right. Thanks, everybody.
If it wasn't copyrighted, I wish we could play the Odyssey song they sing in the last part.
Oh, yeah.
Such a
really
good
good.
song. All right. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
That was a podcast you chose to listen to. Do you think you make good choices? Whether you do, you heard Brandon and Candy talk about things that are cool. We're feeling enthusiastic that you can be average too. So dumb. So dumb, Brandon.